was an accident. About an hour ago, a small jet went down inside New York City. The president was on board.
President of what?
Gas, check. Food, check. Water, check. Weapons, check. Everything, check. Network, check. Multiple places to go, check. Chemical suits, check. You name it.
All right, friends, welcome back to PrepperNow, little morning ride. So, we'll talk about, well, business I used to be in and know a little something about, and kind of what's going on with it, which I think is an overall temperature to the just economy and where we're going. So before I get started, let's talk about something I covered on the crisis report last night, which is the Dow to gold ratio. Everybody knows the silver to gold ratio, or heard of it at least. Dow to gold ratio is the same kind of thing. It's how many ounces of gold does it take so you could, buy the amount of the number on the Dow. Okay, so it's like 40,000 or something like that, 30, some crazy shouldn't be their number, right? And the other thing is, which I'm not going to cover, but the interest rates are continuing to rise again. And as I said the other day, the interest rates, the amount that we pay on our usury, on our just, not the principal, not paying down the debt, but the amount we pay on the interest is now more than we pay on the defense of the country, army, military, that kind of stuff. So a death spiral, which many people say is kind of a big metric. Of course, you're not hearing this anywhere else. But the Dow to gold ratio is at a critical level, and whenever it gets to this ratio, it basically shows a sign of a crash coming, okay? Now, they can stay solvent longer than you and I can keep making prepper videos about how everything's going to come crashing down. So, to those that are like, oh, everything's fine, it's never going to go, at one point it's going to make it happen. That there's going to be a crash or a severe correction, as they like to call it. It's not going to be going up forever. Nothing does that. So, it'll probably be all right now through the election, because again, they can do whatever they want with it if they have enough computers playing the game. So that's a bad sign. But even more so than that is the sign of small businesses and them being able to stay in business and remain solvent. So I used to be in the restaurant business, and I'm intrigued by a lot of the things that go on with it still. It's a solid way to make money and have an actual okay life without all the highfalutin college degrees, if you're into that kind of thing. You can definitely go and make your way in the world if you find a good restaurant and you know what you're doing and you're good at it. This month, I think September, so last month, 40%, 4 in 10 restaurants could not pay their rent. And it goes up and down, and there's good times and bad times. September's kind of a rough time. January, February, definitely rough. Holiday seasons, October through December can be, good. It's where they make a lot of their money. But 40% of all restaurants couldn't stay in business. In April, it was 50%. So that's a pretty big sign right there. I know at least half of all the restaurants that were independently owned were gone after Rona. I know that basically cleaved half of them off. So we're down there. But this isn't just a phenomenon of mom and pop restaurants. Denny's just came out and said they're going to be closing 150 of their restaurants across the country. And I mean, Denny's is no small name. They've been around for a long time. I think their Grand Slam breakfast used to be like, $5, $7, $8. Now it's like almost 20. I don't even know where it is. If you know what a Grand Slam breakfast costs in your area, I would love to know. I know that it is not the affordable deal that it used to. In fact, all the restaurants that are out there, I mean, basically none of them are really affordable anymore, as I can remember. My wife went and took the kids to Chick-fil-A, one of those days it's a pinch and all we could do is go to fast food. And the four of them, it was like $25. And they got nothing special. It wasn't like what I do is I consolidate. I'm like, all right, we're all getting the big 20-something pack and 2 large fries, and we're going to spread it out family style. That's what I do. But even that's like $18, $20. And our kids are not, full-on adults. 2 of them are younger. It's just becoming too expensive. But at the same time, the restaurants have this conundrum. They're like, all right, I can either raise the prices and lose the business that way, or I can, go under or not make it, or try to find another way to save money, like, I don't know, get rid of people. I mean, those Denny's probably have 10, 15 people working in them at any time, if you think about it, between the servers and the cooks and all that. So there's literally thousands of jobs gone just by Denny's alone. All those mom and pop shops, there's, usually a good amount of people working there too. There's thousands of jobs gone. And it just, it just goes on and on and on. It's never ending. And when you see all this stuff and you look at the news, and the news is like, yeah, we've created all these jobs and we've got this going on and everything's just so hunky-dory. And then you go in and you read in the back pages and all the alternative press, all of the nasty things happening to, your buddy's Main Street Cafe, or, their little truck that they have, or their cart or whatever. I mean, if I were going to go into the restaurant business, I would not get a brick and mortar place at this point. I would get everything I had and do like one of those food trucks. There's a reason why all that food truck stuff is exploding now, and why everywhere you go there's all these food trucks, because these people want to make money, but they know if they get the brick and mortar, that the rent and all the cost of operating is going to be way too much. They're not going to be able to do it. Plus, when it's you in some kind of a cart, it's just you. You're business operator and you're the employee. So, it's just another overall sign that America is basically tapped out. And when you take the big picture, at some point, and I love the people that come on here and like, oh, it's going to be fine. Yeah, it could be fine for a while. But we're doing things that are hitting marks and metrics that are really red flags. The Dow-Gold ratio thing is something that historically has been looked at and is a sign of negative things to come. Losing major oil and gas purchasing through the American dollar and having big BRICS conferences and stuff like that is a really big sign that bad things are coming to our economy. Having numerous restaurants closed down, even big ones like Denny's, is a really big sign that bad things are coming. So, I don't know. It's It's like Waffle House. How bad is the storm? There's the Waffle House indicator. How many of those closed? How bad was it? These things are real metrics out in the real world, and they're really telling us that this whole thing is about to crap the bed. We're getting to a point where they can't spit shine this sucker much longer, and nasty things are going to happen. So hopefully you're prepping, hopefully you're doing the things, and hopefully you are stacking, stocking, and sticking to your plan. Okay? All right, friends. Keep doing the things. I'm telling you, it's not going to be much better for much longer. And who knows what's going to happen in the 5th of November. Remember, we shall see. Links in the description and other stuff. God bless you all. Appreciate you being here. PrepperNow out.